Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. This is Graham Haines. I am your son or daughter's U.S. History 1 teacher for this school year. Our teacher's assistant in the classroom is Miss Panagakos. So I just wanted to introduce myself to the parents, to let you know a little bit about myself and a little bit about what the kids are going to be learning this year and how they're going to be learning. I know it's really tough because of the whole virtual learning and in-person learning going on at the same time. So I appreciate everyone's help during all of this. And overall, most of the students have been doing a very good job for the first couple months of school. So about myself, I'm Mr. Haines. I've been a teacher at Yale now for 3 years. I have a pretty good relationship with most of the students. I know we have some new students, but I like to say that I have a pretty good relationship with most of them. I went to school in South Carolina. I also got my master's degree at Temple in Philadelphia. I am from the area. I went to Cherry Hill West for high school. Some interests that I have are history, obviously. I like sports, family, traveling, things like that. So about our history class, I'm going to scroll down and show you guys what I have made for you. So again, this is United States History 1. Most of the students in this class took World History last year. They'll take U.S. History 1 this year and U.S. History 2 next year. They split United States history into 2 different years, even in regular public high schools. It's split in usually between your sophomore and your junior year. My email is there for you guys to contact me at any time. I actually made a mistake on there. It's ghaines@yaleschoolnj.com. So you got to put the NJ before the period. There's the textbook that we use for our class. Obviously, we didn't hand it out to all the students this year because of COVID-19. We are using New Jersey curriculum and a normal public high school textbook. That's where the content is coming from. We do have a midterm exam and a final exam. We'll get more information about those once those come around. You guys can check the parent portal on real time for different announcements for tests and quizzes or things like that that come up in history class. You can talk to your homeroom teacher more about your login information to be able to get into real-time parent portal. There will also be quizzes pretty regularly. Probably every 2 weeks. Students always get a study guide beforehand, and we always practice a couple days ahead of time. We review intensely. We play games to make sure that the students are comprehending. We also have tests, just pretty much a longer quiz, covering more content. Next in our class, I just wanted to go over the different things that we're going to be covering this year. So, like I said, United States history gets divided into 2 years. So we start around the 1700s. Right now, in our class, we're talking about the American Revolution. So, right, we already got through colonizing America. We talked about the Pilgrims and Jamestown and all these different early English American settlements. Now we're talking about the 13 colonies and how we're revolting against the King of England. Eventually, we'll get into creating the Constitution, important Americans like Alexander Hamilton and George Washington, Benjamin Franklin. We'll get into the different, political parties back then, the Federalists and Republicans, and how they helped shape our country and different political parties that we have today. We have growth and division. That's our country growing, across the country. But also dividing itself, people in the South having different ideas than people in the North. We have the spirit of American reform, so hospitals getting better, prisons getting better, society overall getting better with new inventions and things like that. Manifest Destiny is in the 1800s when Americans tried to go across the country to the Pacific Ocean. They thought it was their God-given right to take the land for the Native Americans. We'll talk about a lot of different things in that time period. Then we'll get to sectional conflicts, which is the causes of the Civil War, right? The North versus the South, and the difference of opinions on slavery and multiple different issues. So those are the topics that we're going to talk about this year, pretty much from colonizing America all the way until the Civil War, including the battles and the fallout of Abraham Lincoln's assassination and everything like that. Obviously, we have some different level learners at our school, so I'm going to do my best to differentiate the work for different reading levels of the students and different comprehension levels. If you have any questions about that, or if you want to give me advice on anything to help, I'll always be all ears for any suggestions. Last thing I wanted to do was just to go to our Google Classroom that your children go to almost every day. I'm sorry, I just gotta find it real quick. So if you go to Google Classroom, this is pretty much what it looks like. On the side of their screen, they'll have all these different classes. I have 4 history classes. They'll have a history, math, English, science. Okay, they're going to click on the history class for me. Usually, they're going to go to classwork, and it's separated by week. Okay, they'll have an assignment pretty much for every single day. As you can see, this week, we've had assignments on 10/19, 10/20. Yesterday we had one, and we also had one today about the First Continental Congress. There's a PowerPoint and a worksheet that we work on together. Okay, and tomorrow there'll be 10/23. So if you ever wanted to go online and look, all of the assignments are separated by week. And I also have class recordings. So you can click on a class recording. This is from today. You can click on it and you can watch it. They're usually about 25 to 30 minutes long. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say tonight. I wanted to give you guys a tutorial of our Google Classroom. I also wanted to introduce myself to you, and I want you to let you know that I'm available at any time. Again, my email is ghaines@yaleschoolnj.com. I really look forward to working with the students this year, even though we're having a tough time in our society right now. But if you have any questions or anything about U.S. history class, please reach out, and I'm available. Thanks a lot. Have a nice night.